it's good. You know, sometimes you get your little brother excited when you're playing basketball and stuff, let him get the lead, and then you just come back and take it back.
And welcome back to Bitter Rivals with Ted and Tom. Tom, I've got a scenario for you that I'd like to explore a little bit at this segment. What if, as we both predicted, Michigan and Michigan State run the table? Now, in that case, Michigan State would go to the Big Ten Championship. All right, one more what if. At that Big Ten Championship, Michigan State loses a squeaker against whoever the leader's winner is.
You mean the Wisconsin Badgers?
Well, we'll see. Okay, in that scenario, Michigan State is sitting there at 10-3, correct? Michigan is basically in the clubhouse the week before
at 10-2.
At 10-2.
Right.
What does that play out with the Bulls?
Well, I think, believe it or not, and I hope I'm wrong on this, so even though State's going to get the better bowl if it's a close game. But that's a big if, because it's not going to be a close game. If Wisconsin plays Michigan State, it's going to be a 17, 21-point victory for the Badgers. Okay?
That's what you're predicting.
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. So
you're guaranteeing that.
Well, I mean, guarantee as much as a fan can guarantee, but
it'll be different.
That's my prediction.
It'll be different than in East Lansing. It's a neutral site. I think. Obviously, if it's Wisconsin, they're going to travel well.
Oh yeah.
They're going
to play well too.
If you look at the scenarios of who's going to come out of the leaders division, you're really talking about potentially Wisconsin, Ohio State, Penn State.
Right, and
any of those three teams are going to travel well. Michigan State, it's what, a 4-hour drive down to Indianapolis?
Yeah, no more.
We'll travel
4.
well.
Oh yeah, and if it's Ohio State or Penn State, Michigan State's going to be ending up going to the Rose Bowl. God forbid that happens for the first time since the '87 campaign. It's not going to happen. Wisconsin's going to run the table. They're going to be down there, and there's going to be a little payback going on there. I just see Brett Bielema bringing it big time against Sparty. And you guys go down big time. But if by some chance it's a close game, I still think Michigan State deserves the better bowl game, and I think they will get the better bowl game than Michigan.
This is where I disagree, because the BCS is set up almost exclusively to get a legitimate 1 and 2. Any other BCS bowl after that is really a beauty contest, and it's really based on how many people are going to come to the city? How many people are going to go to buy hotel rooms, spend money in that city? And it becomes a beauty contest. And you can make a argument, I would say not a legitimate argument, but you can make an argument that with Michigan's tradition and with a lot of their history.
They're more beautiful.
They've got a track record.
Okay, you're saying they have...
But I will say that having said that, I think the BCS, the NCAA, and the Big Ten are all about supporting the status quo. They don't like to see these teams like Michigan State or Oklahoma State or Texas Tech or Texas. They don't like to see them popping up. It's much easier to support the status quo. You don't have to reprint the literature. All you have to do is change out the year. Look at the preseason bowls or the preseason polls.
I disagree strongly. I mean, this is woe with me.
This is what happened in 1999.
Woe is me whining. Which they accuse Michigan of. He's whining before it even happens.
You only have to go back to 1999. This is when we finished
I agree, that's a good
with
example.
Similar records. We were both 9-2. In fact, Michigan State beat Michigan that year. Who goes to, at that time, the Citrus Bowl? Michigan State. Who ends up at the Orange Bowl? Michigan.
Beating Alabama.
Doesn't matter. Who deserved to go to the Orange Bowl?
I don't care. I was happy with the outcome.
Sure you were.
And on a high note. Bottom line is, though, I think that if that close game comes down to it, that you're going to be going, Michigan State's going to be going to the better bowl game. But it's not going to happen because Wisconsin's going to blow you out. Then Michigan deserves the better bowl game, and they will get the capital. And all we're talking about, folks, the Big Ten has one BCS bid here in the 2011 campaign. So it's all going down to who gets the Capital One and who gets the Outback And who cares after that? Really, all you want to do is win the game, especially Mark D'Antonio, who's 0-4 in bowl games. He's like, Bo blows bowls. Remember that mantra? How about Mark blows bowls? This is going to be his 5th straight bowl loss if he loses it. You better get a good matchup.
Let me tell you why that has happened, and it's happened to a lot of Big Ten teams over the last couple of years. And it's because they've gotten 2 BCS bids in these past few years. What that creates is a mismatch in the other bowls, the trickle-down bowls.
Which state has been part of it? Because they've never been in the BCS. Ever.
Okay, fine. But the problem is you get a mismatch. And believe it or not, even a 3-loss Alabama team was a mismatch for Michigan State last year. And that clearly was played out
we saw that.
in the game.
First half.
I think if you look at a lot of these mismatches, because a Big Ten team would leapfrog into that second BCS slot, you're creating in what are natural mismatches with the SEC number 2 team versus the Big Ten team, and on down the line in the slotting of.
Well, that's a valid point, but it's a point that's not going to be relevant this year, because I think you're in agreement with me. It's just going to be one BCS.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, if Michigan State goes to the BCS or goes to the Big Ten championship, if they lose in a blowout, I believe there is a probability that a team like a Michigan could earn a second BCS with a 10-2, depending on how the different championship games play out.
And that would really piss you off. That would be a wonderful thing.
That would be a terrible thing.
Stay with us. Bitter Rivals, Ted and Tom, back after this.